Hello everyone, my name's Nisha and I am the YogicAmnesiac. So this is a sort of controversial topic in the sense that no one really has the real answer, though lately I've been noticing a lot more people agree. It's whether or not you should be doing yoga on your period and if inversions especially are safe. Inversions include things like downward facing dog, which is more of a half inversion as opposed to a handstand, which is a full inversion. But inversions literally covers anything where your butt is higher than your head, pretty much. So we're gonna go over this real quickly. I'm gonna dispel a few rumors and drop some truth on you guys and tell you if it is safe or isn't safe to practice yoga on your period. And you might find that it's not as clear as you think it is. Just really quickly before we get started, I did do research on this topic. Before talking about it, I wanted to make sure I was giving you guys true and factual information, and information that most people who have studied this seem to agree upon. But I'm also going to include a link down below if you'd rather read an article. Yoga Journal did a really awesome article about this. It's really simple, easy to read, don't have to worry about anything like that. So if this is something you're interested in and you want to read more after this video, I'm going to cover things a little bit differently from Yoga Journal. So if you want to check out their article, I totally recommend it. Links in the description. So not to divulge too much information, especially for people who don't necessarily think that this is something they like to talk about and they find it kind of gross, but as you know, blood tends to flow down and out of your body when you're on your period or PMSing or anything like that. The fear with inversions is that the blood would flow the wrong way or get stopped up or just sit in the wrong area. They thought that this could cause endometriosis for a while, which is not true at all. Endometriosis is not caused by anything you can do about it. It's totally just a fluke thing that you might end up with. It has nothing to do with your lifestyle. There's been a ton of research on endometriosis, not so much inversions and yoga and being on your period, but endometriosis in specific, and they found that things like that just don't cause it. That's not how it works. There has not been a ton of research about inversions and things like that during your time of the month, but they have found that it's probably not doing anything bad to your body. And from personal experience and people I know and research I've read, it really doesn't do anything to get into a downward facing dog if you are experiencing PMS or anything like that. The areas they do tell you to stay away from is doing prolonged inversions. So if you're good at headstands and you've practiced headstands, go ahead and practice a headstand again during this week or these few days, whatever, and you should be fine. They do recommend you maybe don't do it for as long, so don't hold it for like 5 minutes, just do it for like 1 minute or something like that. Most people don't want to do a headstand for like 5 minutes anyway though, so you're probably going to be fine. Let's talk about real reasons why you should or shouldn't be doing yoga during this time of the month. First off, I know people who get super happy and energetic that time of the month. And if that's your life and that's what happens to you, then you absolutely should be seizing that extra energy, seizing that extra mood boost and doing some yoga. There's no reason you shouldn't do that, especially if it really helps you out and you like doing yoga. Why not? If you find yourself more on the opposite end of the spectrum, you feel moody, down, sad, you're lethargic and tired, then this can still be really helpful for you. It can bring you back up, make you feel better, especially if your moods tend to bounce around a lot and you're not sure what to feel. It can kind of bring you back down into this nice middle ground where you can feel calm, safe, relaxed, and maybe, a little bit more awake. If you experience cramps or low back pain, yoga can actually really help relieve those. It sometimes super helps to move around, get your body moving, and you may just be really tense, which is causing a lot of your pain. So totally move around, and if you find poses which are aggravating it more than helping it, skip that pose. But for a lot of people with mild to not so bad, almost non-existent cramps, there's no reason that you shouldn't be doing yoga and trying to work out those little kinks and make your body feel better. Other things like bloating, feeling hungry, headaches, all of those, they shouldn't affect your yoga too much. Bloating obviously won't. You might find your pants fit a little bit differently, or you might feel a little uncomfortable, but so long as there's no pain involved, you should be fine, especially if it's really mild bloating. Things like acne obviously will not affect your yoga practice unless you get like a zit in a really bad place, in which case I guess you have to skip a few poses or something like that, but it's not going to affect you in any way. Feeling super hungry, you may want to take a light snack before yoga. Usually as a yoga instructor, we recommend you don't eat right before class just because you're going to be moving, and think about eating before running. It's a really bad idea. So think about that, maybe eat a very light snack beforehand and then eat something larger afterwards, and totally bring like a smoothie or something if that's going to help you and keep you from feeling like you're starving the whole class. Okay, let's talk about more severe symptoms, and I am going to be speaking from 100% personal experience here, and from knowing a few other people who have very severe symptoms, especially people with endometriosis and stuff like this, and, you know, all sorts of these conditions, PMDD. You might find that you lean more towards this side, or you may just have severe PMS or anything like that. So this is probably going to be more along the lines of maybe you shouldn't be doing yoga today, or you need to revamp your practice. I find that I get super moody. I don't know how the heck to feel. I'll be really happy and really depressed at the same time. I know it totally doesn't make sense, but that's what happens, and I feel really weird. And yoga can actually help balance that out and help you calm down. So absolutely, when I'm able to practice yoga, I will so do it if that's the biggest thing for me. If you're feeling really severe mood changes, I absolutely recommend you try out some yoga, even if you just have to do it a little bit slower, a little bit calmer. I find it way hard to get out of bed. I'm super fatigued. I'm exhausted. I feel like I didn't sleep the night before, even though I slept 12 hours. That is not the condition you should be practicing yoga in. In fact, you could be putting yourself in danger. If you absolutely know that this practice is going to wake you up and you feel safe doing it, you totally can. Don't worry about it. But keep in mind that some poses may be a little bit more dangerous for you, like doing inversions or anything, which really takes strength to do properly. You also don't want to compromise poses. If you just don't have the energy to hold things properly, you could do things wrong and end up injuring yourself, or, you know, just not doing things right. So keep that in mind. If you get super fatigued, that's totally a reason not to do yoga. If you have severe cramps, yoga can actually make them worse. I have done yoga practices where they tell you to do a back bend, and next thing I know, my cramps are so much worse. So keep in mind that some poses can aggravate your cramps a lot, and if they are really, really bad, it's not going to feel good to do anything like that, especially if they started out really severe and then you kick it up a notch. It's going to totally suck. The same thing goes for back pain. I'm pretty lucky in that my low back gets very tense, but it feels really good to stretch out and move it and get those knots out, or get a nice back massage or something like that. So it feels great for me to move my back around, but the front is usually what's stopping me. So if your back is really hurting, you might find that you don't want to move around and it's just not going to work for you today. You may find, though, that you have severe back pain, and yoga might help you ease it a little bit and really relax. You can also get pain anywhere else in your body. My legs, the entire leg just starts hurting on both sides, especially up in my hips, and it's super bad, and I can't do anything. I feel like I can't walk very well. I can't stand around. And if that's the case, your joints are hurting and they're not supporting you, they don't want to support you, don't do yoga. Just relax all day, take a day off, and totally chill out. This is a symptom I did not cover in the mild section of this video, but we're covering it now because there's no real mild version of this. But vertigo, dizziness, and nausea are all super real things, and you should not be driving a car probably if you're experiencing any of these. I get them and I get super dizzy and uncomfortable. I used to even throw up, and if you're throwing up or feel like you're going to throw up, doing yoga is probably not going to make you feel any better. Along with those, it can be really hard to concentrate. I find that driving can be extremely hard for me at that time of the month, so I try not to. I try to avoid it as best as I can, but that's a very serious problem, and doing yoga or anything like that, it's like being fatigued. You could really hurt yourself if you're not able to focus, and you might just not enjoy it as much if your mind is bouncing all over the place and you just can't concentrate. That's about all I have for you guys today. If I forgot a symptom and you want to know if it's safe or not to practice when you're experiencing that, leave a comment down below and I'll help you try to figure it out depending on what you think and how you're feeling. So always remember, it's totally cool to just take a break, take a week off. Restorative yoga is always an option. For most of these, even the severe symptoms, restorative yoga can be really good. It's super easy, super slow, not gonna take a lot of concentration, and you could just let your body relax. So that's one thing, is that for just about anything, you can do restorative yoga unless you're feeling like totally bad. So like I said, please leave a comment down below. Tell me if you liked this video. Like I said, if you had any symptoms that I didn't cover, or if you just want to say hi, I would be totally happy to read and reply to your comments. Don't forget to like this video. I really like to know that you guys enjoyed it, and that's the best way to let me know that you enjoyed this video. And don't forget to subscribe. It's the best way for YouTube to let you know if I've released any new videos.